Yeah, so I was super in the mood to play with a chemical pistol build because I had never done it before, and I wanted to understand how chemical pistols are built, how expensive it would be to try it, and I had an idea for a character, and so we're back again for another Depot A run right after I had done it with Geralt. In fact, after I beat you and Geralt, I immediately made another character. I was like, I'm gonna do this again. This is awesome. Yep. Still super addicted to Underworld Expedition. Hey everyone. Alright, so we're back for yet another Depot A run. And as you've heard, we have a chemical pistol build to try out this time around. This is the first time that I am recording one of these, by the way. And I am very nervous that we will not be able to successfully get through Depot A. Mostly because I don't think a chemical pistol, in particular because of the restrictions on chemical pistols in the early parts of the game, I don't think it's going to work so well for us in there. But let's get in there, we'll do the standard stuff of looking at this character, covering their stats, skills, feats, and equipment, and then in we go. So, let's do it! Alright everyone, as you can see from the upper left-hand corner, I'm sure everyone recognizes Dr. Scarab from the Bionic 6 cartoon in the 80s. All of you were alive back then, I'm positive of it, or at least watched that cartoon afterwards, yep. So here he is, and I am using chemical pistols for this build. Let's go ahead and look at his stats to start, his skills and so on, and I'm actually going to mention how difficult it's been for me to play Dr. Scarab here, given the build I went with. I'm going to actually point out a few things I think you should do different if you do make a build based around this, and also just like Geralt, I'll try to remember to leave a link to this build at level 16 and max level, in case you're curious and you want to play this type of character as well. Although I still would recommend you make your own build, because you shouldn't be, well, you should do whatever you like. But I myself find it more enjoyable to create my own build and tweak it as I continue to play, rather than follow an online guide. In any case, let's go ahead and take a look at him. So here he is, and as usual, I do not do any min-maxing. In fact, he's not even optimized. Like most of my characters, nothing was lowered at all. And so I can tell you that this was probably a mistake for me to use Dr. Scarab without lowering stats to increase other ones. I wouldn't have lowered anything to 3, but I think I could have gotten away with a strength of 4 and an agility of 4 for this character, given how, well, maybe not strength, but definitely agility probably should have been lowered to 4. I have almost no movement points anyway, or very few of them, and I have no dodge or evasion on Dr. Scarab, and so having the 5 agility seems like a waste to me. That point could have been put into Constitution, which I think would have been much more beneficial for him, or even into Intelligence instead. So yeah, that was probably a mistake. And if you're gonna if you're gonna click on those links down below, and you're gonna play this type of character, I would probably recommend lowering agility to 4. It hasn't really helped. I don't win most of the initiative rolls. I do plan on taking Paranoia with him, probably next feat I get at level 12 or so, maybe at level 14, but definitely before level 16, that plus 5 initiative is going to be really flippin' handy for him. But otherwise, this hasn't been too useful. So yeah, I'd probably lower agility to 4. So, strength of 5. Originally, I was really concerned about the carry capacity, the weight allowance on Dr. Scarab, because I intended for him to be carrying around acid blob traps and using quick tinkering to help me deploy them. But I couldn't fit it into the parts before Depot A. Like, acid blob traps are expensive. They're expensive to make acid blob traps. It's very expensive to make acid ammo when you're running around with a acid chemical pistol. And so I haven't really reached my max capacity. It also, because I took Pack Rat Hound at level 1, I think this probably could have been at skill point 4, but there's a feat I want with him that I don't have at the moment, which increases the critical chance of, I think it's all pistols, by 0.5% for every action point required to fire the pistol over 10. I forget what it's called right now. We'll take a look at that together when we get to feats, but you need a strength of 5 for that feat. And so I figured in the end, I'm probably going to take it, and so leaving strength of 5 is a requirement for that, so 10 extra carry capacity, it'll be acceptable. 6 dex, he's going to probably get 7 dex, maybe even 8 dex, maybe even more than that. I didn't realize that chemical pistols are considered to be a light weapon. For some reason, I thought chemical pistols were something like the game would treat them like an assault rifle, where you don't see any action points reduction from firing them with a high dex, but you totally do. I wish I had realized that when I had started the build. So you can't really make a chemical pistol very easily until you get to Depot A. It's at that point that you probably have enough money that you can begin buying all the... Actually, I think the plans are only available in Depot A from Fixer to start with, let alone all the parts you need, components you need to create them. So once I realized that was the case, I'm like, oh man, wow, I wish I had taken at least 1 more point in dex, probably 2 more points in dex. But I didn't. I took 6 dex, and that was mostly for Grenadier. So now that I know chemical pistols are affected by a higher dex, I'd probably recommend putting more points into this as well. But 6 dex hasn't been too bad. It helps our initiative, and this is going to see more points as I level him up. We've covered why agility's... Well, we didn't cover why agility's 5. I just didn't feel like lowering anything. I didn't think it would matter overly much, but it totally does. I think agility should probably be lowered to 4, maybe even 3. I mean, Dr. Scarab isn't really a very agile character. So, maybe that should have been 3 for thematic reasons, but I have a hard time lowering any stat to 3. I just don't like doing it, and especially, if I can get away, or I think I can get away without lowering any stat, I prefer not to do that. The internet will tell you that's a total waste, and you should at least try to optimize the build a little bit more by lowering at least some stats to 4 to get those points put in things that you'll use. I can totally agree with that in this case, that at least agility should have been lowered by 1 point. My constitution is 5 because I wasn't taking anyone. He was not going to have any dodge and evade. He's not wearing metal armor, and as such, I viewed him as he's going to take hits. And holy crap, does he take hits? So, oh man. So, I'm really super glad I did not lower Constitution to 4 or 3 for Dr. Scarab. Actually, this should be higher. I wouldn't have minded a Constitution of 6 for him. But, Constitution 5, he takes the hits. He's gotten by with a few fights with just like 5 hit points left. All like 1 or 2% of his hit point total. He's also died, I think, 6 times trying to get to Depot A. It's been tough to use Dr. Scarab, at least compared to some of the other characters that I've been playing. Perception of 9. So he shoots pistols, so I want him to have a high perception. He's not seeing any more points in perception until I think he probably hits around level 24 or so, 26, when he gets the improved perception DLC feat. This, I think, is a rather nice level for him. It really helps with the accuracy. I don't think we can really get the accuracy any better with the chemical pistol from what I've seen. It seems like I'm stuck at 80% chance to hit. It doesn't seem to matter, unless I'm right dead on top of someone. Otherwise, it's really not the best chance to hit with chemical pistols. We'll talk more about chemical pistols when we get into the equipment. In any case, I'm really happy with Perception 9. We get to see a bunch of secrets. It helps with our detecting stealth enemies and traps, and it's been really useful. Alola 5, he's got some social skills. He has Intimidate. We'll cover that really quick when we get over there. So I didn't want to lower his will at all. And Intelligence of 7, Dr. Scarab in the cartoon, if I recall correctly, he was indeed a mad scientist, and so I think a high intelligence would be good, especially early on. He's doing a bunch of crafting. You need to craft chemical pistols, because I don't think you can buy them early on. And so, yeah, this was really helpful. I think he's going to put this up to 8 or 9 total by the time he reaches the end of the game. For his skills, obviously, you need guns to fire chemical pistols, so that's what I've done. Beginning to level this. I think chemical pistols might require a minimum amount of guns as well, so. And throwing. I realized that early on in the game I might have trouble because I want to be chemical pistol focused, but you're not going to get a chemical pistol until later on, or an acidic pistol, I suppose is what I should say. I'm saying chemical pistols a lot in the introduction here. So I was like, okay, well, he's going to get throwing, and he's going to take grenades. Probably even take Grenadier to help him out early on. So, thus, throwing. Nets have also been helpful for him in keeping people with sledgehammers away from him for an extra turn. Trying to fish for that, what's it called? Oh, acidic entanglement, I think is what it's called. Trying to fish for a better route on someone who wants to walk up and melee us. No dodge or defense or evasion. I mean, it doesn't look like Dr. Scarab's the type who was very agile. He's not a dwarf from the Hobbit movies. He is a mad scientist, so rather a large gentleman, and doesn't really move very quickly. So I didn't think that any dodge or evasion would be appropriate for him. No stealth either. He's got hacking, and this has been useful. I forgot how nice hacking is early on, so we're getting the occasional decent treasure that I sell for the Charons that I desperately need to create more acid vials for us. He has traps. My plan with him is next level, level 12, make Dex 7 and take quick tinkering so I can begin setting traps in the middle of combat. It's been an age since I used quick tinkering, and I know it's different than what it had been earlier. So I'm curious as to what that will be, and my plan is to use acid blob traps exclusively when I'm able to do so. For technologies, as you can see, we've got almost everything except for tailoring. Mechanics, because I couldn't tell what the mechanics were to be able to create chemical pistols. I thought the frames could be, like they would go up in quality, but they did not. So I'd actually need less mechanics than I thought. Than what you see here. However, this will still be useful because he's going to be taking tailoring later on, and I'm going to want to make super steel fiber to improve the leathers, assuming it is leathers I'm going to be using, and I think it is, to help him out. At the very least for his boots. And so the mechanics won't go to waste. Electronics and chemistry. You need high chemistry if you want to make good acidic pistols or chemical pistols for later on in the game. And electronics, because I realize that I'm pretty sure chemical pistols will do nothing for us for half of Depot A, because the enemies are immune to acid damage or significantly resistant to it. And so I wanted electronics so I could make a plasma pistol instead and give that a try. And biology, because I think it's the biology we want to break down the mutant dog leather, which I plan to use for him for his boots later on. I also felt it was appropriate because he's a doctor. He'll be using all these special drugs to help him out in combat. I think the focus stim in particular later on. He has no psi. He didn't have any mind control abilities in the cartoon. I didn't think I wanted any here either. And he's got a social skill of Intimidate. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's an evil scientist. He looks evil. And he wears freaking lipstick. Look at that. So he's really intimidating. You don't mess around with a guy who looks like him and wears makeup. Like, that's terrifying. And so I thought Intimidate was a good skill for him to have. In retrospect, I think Mercantile would have been a much better use of these 53 points. It is expensive to have run this character. Oh my goodness, it is expensive. Oof, really expensive. Not being able to do Depot A early means that you have to buy the ingredients to make your acid ammo, and there's almost no acid ammo for sale. I didn't realize acid ammo works the way that it does until I started using these pistols, and oh my goodness, we'll cover it when we get look at the equipment. But oof, it is like 120 Charons to give myself about 70 or 80 rounds to fire. It adds up quickly, very quickly. Yeah, so, but it's been useful. Intimidate got me around having to try to kill Mutan Rulan, whatever his name is, the guy, right, the first big boss, quote, you fight after you get to the cave system to turn back on the power stations. I was able to use that to avoid that fight, which was really helpful for reasons I'll explain when we look at our equipment. Or when we go adventuring, because Dr. Scarab had an interesting start compared to most of the other characters I've played. So, here's his feats. Aim shot. My plan was, I've noticed that when the enemies use acid pistols on me, their aim shots really flippin' hurt. And this is especially true if you can get acidic entanglement on an enemy. And holy crap, I was right. Aim shot with a chemical pistol can do about like 100 something damage when I was like level 8. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And the acidic entanglement, when it ticks for damage on the person who's rooted, does like another 80 damage to them. It's amazing. So I'm really happy I took aim shot. Pack Rat Hound, because I plan to carry around a lot of acidic traps, acid blob traps, fire blob traps, cryo traps later on in the game, so this will help me carry all those around with me, helps me bring back loot. Maybe I shouldn't have taken this in retrospect. You don't really need Pack Rat Hound. It is a nice quality of life feat, so, but I'm kind of glad I took it. I have not reached that carry capacity at all. We might reach it when we're inside Depot A, but it's been useful. That's my way of saying that maybe Nimble, as weird as it is for Doctors... Well, I guess if you're lowering your agility to 5, you can't take Nimble. Sorry, to 4, you can't take Nimble. Actually, is Nimble... Nimble requires 6 dex? Or does Nimble require... No, Nimble's... Oh, there's no requirement whatsoever. You can just take Nimble whenever you like. Okay. Yeah, maybe, in retrospect, maybe Nimble would have been a little better. Even though we don't have any dodge and evasion, getting the armor rating down by 15% would give me more movement points, and those would have been helpful, but well, I decided no Nimble on this guy. Quick pockets. So, because I'm taking Grenadier, and because I'm taking High Chemistry, that means more belt items. I'm taking electronics for a taser, for example. I'll probably have the device that lets me control robots later on. I want at least 2 different types of grenades on my belt, preferably 3. The plan in the end is to use either a trap belt or a simple utility belt for 5 total item slots. So, Quick Pockets is really handy. I wanted that early on for him. And it's been really helpful, actually, given the belts that I've gotten. You'll see that in a few seconds. Sure Step. So, this may be just something everyone knew, but for some reason, my Tiny Tim mind did not make this connection. When you fire acid pistols, it leaves behind acid on the ground. You are not immune to the acid that your acid pistol leaves on the ground. It never occurred to me this was the case. I don't know why I did not think of that, but sure enough, acid doesn't care about friends. It just wants to burn your feet to death. And so I realized, oh man, wow, this is actually a concern. So I figured Sure Step helps me with that. Now, you don't need it. I believe if you make Super Steel infused mutated dog leather boots, you are immune to all acid puddles anyway. So if it's just the acid puddles, you don't need this. But I took it early. I've been happy with it. Probably should have taken something different if I really want to sit down and optimize the build a little bit. But because I have throwing, this also means that I'm encouraged to use caltrops now. And so it's been useful in that regard as well. I just took Kneecap Shot at level 10. I have not used this with this character. It's really useful in Depot A because I think dogs and mutants, they all have kneecaps. And so this will be handy in buying me a little bit of time to deal with the enemies. I think the additional bleeding damage of the original damage over 3 turns will be really useful as well, considering how much damage acid pistols can do. And even then, because of what I'll be using this on, mostly the mutants, I won't be using the acid pistol on them. I'll be using our plasma pistol on them, and I think that will do incredible amounts of damage over time. So we'll get a chance to see that together. We have Grenadier. I'm taking Chemistry. High points of Chemistry early on. Why not take Grenadier so I can throw those grenades more often? This is especially true in Depot A because I was expecting my acid pistol to... I'm still expecting my acid pistol not to do any damage to the giant mutants or the mutated dogs. So this will come in handy for me dealing with them. And Mad Chemist, so I can create my own stronger acid pistols. I don't really understand what it means by on-hit effects of chemical pistols you craft are twice as strong. I think that is telling me that the chance to apply the special effect is twice as strong. So I think I have a greater chance to root opponents with my acid pistol, for example, but I'm not entirely sure. But I know I wanted it because I'm making chemical pistols, so there we go. Okay, I'm gonna quickly say this part because I like how it's come out so far. Alright, so now let's look at his equipment. I guess we'll cover all the items I'm bringing with him. So he's bringing a ton of stuff with him. We've got 7 burrow poison caltrops, which sure step we don't have to worry about taking any damage with them. I built the taser. As usual, close range stun is really great if somebody manages to reach me. I've got MK2 frag grenades on me at the moment in the belt. I don't think I'll need my MK3s, which you can see in my inventory, to help me deal with the muties, but I want the MK3s for mutant dogs and the mutants. I'm bringing some flashbangs to help me stun everything. Some nets to keep things away from me, and EMP grenades MK2 to help me. I think this will stun the enemies for, is it 2 rounds? That's only 2 rounds still, okay. But it does decent damage to the robots, and I'll be glad to have it. For our goggles, I'm wearing some secret goggles that I found on some of those. Please repair. I'm wearing some secret goggles that I found on someone. I forget where I got these from. But 7% chance to crit with ranged weapons is really nice. I really like that. Really helps my acidic pistols as well, because their chance to crit is only 4%. I did do all the burrower content, so we managed to get a medium frequency shield from that. Really like it. I really actually like medium frequency shields in the early game, because burrowers have a tough time getting through them with their spines, as opposed to a high shield, which is not as effective against them. We got an anti-thermic galvanic overcoat from the group of Ironheads to the south of Southgate Station, and this is really flippin' amazing. A level 10 one of these, it's great. I really like this, and also it makes us immune to burning, so I can throw flame grenades at my feet, or have been able to, and take reduced damage even from frag grenades when they go awry. So it's been really useful. I do have a level 9 insulated riot overcoat, which I've been using to help me deal with the burrowers. Really helpful. I would have died several times had I not been wearing that. I bought the catalyzing belt from Fixer. So, as you can see, we increased the amount of damage taken from our pistol's damage type by 25% from all sources for 2 turns and stacks 2 times. So it increases the damage we deal from everything by 25% when the debuff applies. Very nice. Lets me switch over to a different weapon to do more damage to them if I need to. Here's the acid pistol that I managed to make for myself. I got super lucky early on with Fixer selling a really nice acid blob dispenser. And so this let me make a level 11 acid blob pistol when I finally had the points to do so. I was using a level 8 one that I had crafted earlier on. And it's decent. As you can see, it does decent damage. A 38% chance when we hit the enemy with it to root them in place, dealing an amazing amount of damage over 2 turns. And these acid are lying on the ground. Acid is pretty freaking great. The enemies look like they don't care about acid in the same way they care about fire. The enemies won't avoid acid. They'll run right through it to try to get to me most of the time. That's interesting, because I see hordes of burrower spawn just kill themselves if there's enough acid on the ground in an attempt to reach me. I like it. I like that change. I guess I don't realize how dangerous the acid is until they're in it. So it's been really handy. We've got a 7.62mm hammer. Also, I believe I got this from that same group of Ironheads south of Southgate Station. I think their grenadier was using this weapon. Nothing fancy about it. Doesn't have a laser sight, no extended magazine, no rapid reloader, obviously. But was a level 10, does decent damage, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to take this and use it for creatures that don't need an acid blob again thrown at them. And I'm using just some garbage boots. I have never found tabby boots yet. I haven't found any boots that have a boot spring in them. I want to keep my armor penalty as low as possible to get some movement points, and so K5 leather boots is what it is for us. I'm also bringing mutated dog leather armor, which I managed to find off of someone. I can't remember where I got this from. I have a trapper's belt for when I'm adventuring in the actual mutated dogs and giant mutant areas. I'll swap out our catalyzing belt for this. And I created a smart plasma pistol. This is interesting because I've never actually created a plasma pistol before. I didn't realize that you can give them special upgrades, and so smart will increase the damage. I believe I do when I use my kneecap shot or my aim shot, so that's kind of useful. Why a plasma pistol and not a laser pistol? I figured we do incredible amounts of damage with my acid pistol, and the action points to fire it are pretty high because my dex is so low compared to what it should be. So I wanted to keep that theme, and I made a plasma pistol for ourselves. And of course, I'm bringing my jackknife to help me take apart the mines we find. I'm bringing 60 acid vials with me in here. I think I got like another 20 stored somewhere else. I don't have very many of them. I thought acid vials worked like lithium cells for acid pistols. I thought this would give me 60 reloads, not 60 shots. But that's not the case. They are basically pistol rounds, or bullets. So we can fire this a total of 68 times before we are totally out of acid that I'm bringing with me. I don't think we'll fire it that much. The enemies I'll be firing this pistol on will be the mutants and the robots and the gun turrets. And I think I brought enough with me to handle all of that. For the giant mutants, we'll be switching over to our plasma pistol and using our hammer. The same thing with the acid dogs. We're bringing a bunch of drugs with me. I did, as you can see, make a ton of adrenaline shots to help me out. I really need the adrenaline. Poor Dr. Scarab's really hyping it up, as it were. Some morphine. I have used, I guess, well, I should be completely honest with you guys, I have used the cheat engine to help me sell things, but I did not use the cheat engine to fish for items from the merchants. I really needed the money. I cannot stress enough how much money it has been to run this build. Chemical ammo is very expensive if you're buying acid and bonding agents. Oh my god. And in fact, I now realize what the bonding agents are even used for. I couldn't figure out, like, why is bonding agents a thing? I've never had to use this whatsoever. They must be used for something. What are they used for? They're used for chemical ammo. So, now a heads up, by the way, when it comes to this build, I think that's really all I've got. Is that right? Oh, bringing 11 burrow poison bear traps with me as well for this area. I probably should have brought more. You know what? We're right here. Let's reload the game so I still have some time left on my detection. And I'm gonna go really quick. We're gonna go back to Catherine and buy a few more repair kits for my plasma pistol, and then we'll be good to go. So, what makes this build a bit tricky compared to the others I've run through Depot A is that, again, the focus of the build, which is an incredible chemical pistol, I can't really use it in Depot A. I've not seen any cryo collector or incendiary collector in the game at this point. So what that means is that I can't use a flame chemical pistol or a ice pistol. The only one available to me in this early game is the acid pistol. If that's incorrect, please tell me. And correct me. I don't want to give wrong information, but I don't know where I can go to build a flame pistol to help me in Depot A. As far as I can tell, there isn't any. And so this means that, unlike all the other builds, I'm not going to be using the strongest weapon that I have when I'm in Depot A, because I can't. It's really going to be ineffective against the mutated dogs and the mutants. So I'm going to have to rely on other weapons that aren't quite what I want to use. It also meant that when I was selecting feats early on in the game, I had to be really careful with the feats I was taking. Like, I wanted Opportunist. This way, when things are rooted, I can do extra damage to them. But that doesn't really matter against normal dogs, robots, and mutated, and the muties, the mutants with the guns, because they're gonna die quick enough from just a standard acid pistol round. Against mutated dogs and against the giant mutants, they're gonna be immune to acidic entanglement. So, Opportunist isn't really gonna help me against them. And I had to think about this as well, like Quick Shot. Well, am I going to take another chemical pistol feat, which isn't useful to me in Depot A throughout half of it, because I'm not going to be using the chemical pistol against those creatures? So it made for a very interesting build. It's the only time I've had to consider that the focus of the build is something I have to delay if I want to get. I don't know if easier time is a way to phrase it. Every feat I take which helps my chemical pistol, or the focus of it, that I can't use in Depot A. It makes Depot A that much tougher to complete. So, alright, let me save this part off as well. And with that said, I think we're good to go, everyone. I've got all the equipment I think I'll need while we're in Depot A. Let's go ahead and head in there. Actually, I probably should have brought... Well, we'll be fine. Yeah, I don't have to break down the acid glands right away. They can just all go into a barrel. Alright, everyone. Here we are again, back in Depot A for another run. So the first thing I'm going to do is what I always like doing, and making sure I can get into this little house so I have an area I can fight enemies in that has a choke point. Unlike with Geralt, I'm going to go ahead and place some traps around before the enemy sees me. I walked a little too far north and started combat last time. I'm not going to do that this time, if I can avoid it. Place a few of these burrow traps to help me against a starting fight. Just 2, I think we'll be fine. And actually, this trap should be moved here. We'll place a third. Actually, we'll place a third. You know what? No, I don't like leaving Depot A once I'm in here. I prefer not doing so. So no, we won't do that. Can we see that trap? Yes, we can. Moment of truth, I suppose, as well. Let's see. Can I take the trap? So far, Dr. Scarab has not been able to recover any of the traps that he's disarmed. Let's see if now at level 10 if he's able to do so. Yes. Okay. Finally. Can I take... No! Dog, you almost started combat with me. Okay. I think we'll deploy this trap, actually. You know what? I do want to move these. Oh, there's a dog up there, too. Be really careful. The dog could wander down here, and then we're in combat against all the mutants in this area. I'm gonna risk it's not going to do that and stay there and scratch its head. All right, good. All right, let's check what else is in this room really quick. I opened the doors and didn't even check the shelves. I guess we can break that down. And locked. Right. We don't have lockpicking, we only have hacking with this character. Alright, let's see. Dog, did you move away? You did. So, I'm gonna... Well, we have quick pockets, Tim. You can swap your weapons. Show me the traps! Okay, let's see. Not that one. That mine creates a nice wall. This dog will never walk over that mine. It's aware that it exists, and it can get to be someplace else. We can take the mines now. Okay. So as usual, that gives me more options for dealing with the enemies. Right, Tim, you have hacking. So let's go ahead and open this box. 9 batteries. Nice. Alright, we're going to do something a little weird. We are actually going to go over to the other area to start. We're not going to start the fight in that zone first. This zone first. Because I have a little bit of time left on my stuffed bat. And I want to be able to detect the traps that are in this area. That is an MK2 HE mine. Do I want it? Yeah, let's take it. We have all the extra carry capacity, so we should definitely be taking these traps. Also, I think we will disarm everything and all these traps that we come across. I really should. Experience has been tough for Dr. Scarab. I actually did almost everything I could do. The only 2 things I did not do with Dr. Scarab... when it comes to gaining experience points was... What was it? I didn't finish Abram's quests. I did everything except for going into the Protectorate prison. This is because Dr. Scarab cannot get into vents. He has no lockpicking, and he's got no... the strength he has is not good enough to enter vents. So this means that I'd have to figure out how to navigate around the Protectorate prison without using the vents, which I don't know how to do, or I would have to... One second. Where are we putting this trap? Can I put it here? I think we can. Or I'd have to defeat all the Protectorate in there, and I just don't think Dr. Scarab can do it. Even off screen, I don't do battles if I think they're gonna get my character killed. If I'm like, nope, there's no way I can do that, I won't even make the attempt. I also didn't kill the siphoners. I couldn't. The weirdest thing in the world. Dr. Scarab does not have the damage output to kill siphoners. He doesn't have the movement points to shoot and move away from them without them catching him. And so it's just a really slow battle where Dr. Scarab just can't put out the damage to kill them quick enough. I probably could now... Ooh, 50% protection goggles. That's pretty good for early on. I probably actually can do so now that I have a plasma pistol and with setting down burrow traps and caltrops, but I couldn't do it earlier. There was just no way. It was so bad. I was like, I can't. Here I am, level 8, and I can't kill a siphoner. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but I don't... Oh, hello. Oh, broadhead bolt. I don't like putting down like 50 traps in an area to help me do a battle. I'm not gonna do that. It's my belief that it's perfectly fine. I really need to stress that. It's Underrail. The game is tough. Take every advantage you can possibly get. Actually, hold on, can we hack at this right now? We can. That I can open these now. Oh, you know what? We have hacking. I don't need to worry about the gun turrets at all in this facility. I can probably disarm them. I'm also always amazed I don't have what it takes to see the secret door here. It requires at least a perception of 10, I think. Okay. I think combat starts here. Yeah, combat starts if I move there. So let's think here. Let's put this trap. If I move here, combat starts as well. Okay, so let's start this. Oof, that is not a good chance to hit that. Let's move around the corner and just end combat. We'll need a flare on the turret. Ooh, not wearing your bullet reduction armor, Tim, and you didn't bring any with you. Alright, let's throw this. And you don't really have the... You don't have the... Well, hold on. I can probably move down here. And it probably can't shoot me from here. How are you doing this, Tim? We're going to move up and we're going to throw a grenade. This will get their attention of all the other dogs, but it will also... hopefully detonate the mine in there and kill both of these dogs. And I do not have the action points required to fire this weapon. Let's move away again. Move up. And we'll take that shot. That does not do the damage I was hoping it would do against the turret. Ooh! Ooh. Oh, man. I'm wearing the acid armor so that this way I can deal with the dogs. How about we just don't mess with the turret while I'm not wearing the appropriate armor? But the dogs can't see me if I do that. The dog's aware, yep, that the turret has fired, but it doesn't know why it fired. They still don't see me. Let's move up and shoot it. Now they should know where I'm located. We got entangled. Okay. I'm also not using my MK3 grenades. Am I in range of that mine? I don't think I am, but I think the dog is. Mines have the same AoE as a grenade, so I think I'm just out. So I'm going to throw this grenade here, and hopefully we don't kill ourselves. Alright, not bad. And I think there's one dog left. I think there's one dog left. Let's switch back to this weapon. I think, Tim, you should ignore the gun turret and come back here. There's a security terminal in a different area which will let you disarm all the turrets, so you don't have to use any ammunition on them. Okay, yeah, that's a good plan. So let's now double back. I'm using my catalyzing belt, aren't I? No, I'm not. Okay, good. All right, so we'll leave everything. Actually, we'll take the frag mine. Let's take this back. And we'll head back on over now to the first area. Okay, so we'll put back on this, we'll put back on this, we'll put back on this. I'm fine with everything else I've got. We should put on more caltrops. We should eat some food. No reason not to eat food. So... Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let's have a mushroom salad. I'm immune to you, acid. Isn't there a trap right in here? Did I disarm it? I don't know if I disarmed it or not. Do I see this now? Hey! Okay. So it does require 10 perception. We should not... Maybe we should explore this, but I think there's another dog in this area. I thought there were 5, and I think I've only killed 4. I'm going to leave anything that might get me shot at unsearched until I can disable the security. Key card for that, because there's that one barrel. Let's go ahead and search it. There's a gun turret down there, Tim. You want to avoid that. Okay, I'm wrong. There were only 4 dogs in this area. Or there were 5, and we killed one of them. Let's see, extract humor. Delicious acid. So expensive. So very expensive to purchase this. Hey, bacon cheeseburger! A perfectly good, valid bacon cheeseburger. The only thing on this dusty, rusty shelf in the middle of a mutant-filled area is a perfectly edible bacon cheeseburger. I guess it's got the 300-year rule on it. If it hasn't been more than 300 years, not enough bacteria has grown on it, it's perfectly safe to eat it. Oh, Tim, this does not put you where you thought it would. But it puts me close to where I want to be. We'll work this from here. So first off, let's grab the MK2 frag... Actually, this looks like an MK3 frag mine, HE mine to me. We did not claim that mine. We only disarmed it. I think that was... No, that was MK2. Oh, I didn't have my... When I disarmed it, I didn't have my jackknife equipped, so we didn't have the points to claim it. Okay, let's head on out. So we're going to have mutants and mutant dogs here. Let's also make sure we have this weapon equipped. And I'm going to place a trap here for the eventual dog. Okay, and let's deal with the gun turret that's immediately to our right. How much damage do I do to you with my chemical pistol turret? 90. It's entangled. Do you take damage over time? Because if so, I don't need to shoot you again. You do! Will you die? You will. Alright, die. So that will be destroyed. The dog will die automatically as well, so... Dr. Dot. Oh, poor dog barks. Turret gets destroyed. And that's it. Alright, yeah, the acid pistols do decent damage to robots as well, which is very nice. Robots, to mechanical enemies. Metal armor doesn't stop the acid from eating away at them. I'm gonna throw some caltrops here. Got tackled, got bit a bunch. Let's see. Let's stun you, dog. I don't think we've gotten the attention of the mutants yet, but maybe we did. We are regenerating, which is very nice. Hello, Fragmine, I want you. We've opened this up, I believe? We did. I would like to Fragmine. Let's see. Do I need to have my jackknife equipped to take it? Let's find out. I think I do. Yes. Yep, it's only disarmed. We don't recover it. So I'll need the jackknife if I want to claim any of these mines. Wow, I don't even see the mine that's over here. I'm pretty sure there's one over there. I don't see it. So I'm also using a 7.62 hammer because this was the best one I found. I would have liked to have made a better hammer, but I couldn't get a better barrel than what this weapon was. and I didn't feel like buying a slightly less damaging pistol and giving it better upgrades was worth it. Yes, we cover it with the jackknife. We don't without it. And I think we can hack this for level 3 access. And we can disable all the auto turrets in the entire area. So I didn't even need these EMP mines. I don't need them against bots, not the little robots, the wheelers. We won't need the EMPs against them. Maybe I'll throw one against them anyway, just because I can. Okay, let's go back up now and explore the rest of that area we had just left. Or no, let's finish this area while I'm here. Wait a little bit. Okay, this will be a test. It is my belief that muties do not have any damage reduction against acid. So, no damage was taken by the mutie from our acid pistol. That only means, I think, that we missed it. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. We either missed 2 85% shots, or he takes no damage from it. We're going to try it again. Okay, we just got super unlucky, which is often the case in Underrail. They do take damage from acid. That was something else that fighting Siphoners made it really difficult, because I kept doing no damage to them at level 8 with the first chem pistol I was able to make, and I had assumed they were completely immune to acid. Like, I literally missed 6 shots in a row with an 80% chance to hit them, because they were right up on top of me. It was really flavorfully annoying, and I was like, oh, I guess they're just immune to acid. And in retrospect, no. It's just Underrail being Underrail, where you miss, like, 95% chances to hit in a row. Because you're not using psychic powers, Tim. That's what it comes down to. Break apart his garbage. Search the rest of these shelves. Now, I don't think our acid pistol will be very useful, though, again, against the mutated dogs or the normal mutants. I think they will simply be too strong. They have too much resistance, is my belief. Hey, holy crap! That's only level 5, though. And a 7.62 hammer, extended magazine, and laser-sighted. It does 1 less point of damage minimum and 5 less points of damage maximum. Maybe, though, this is better. Maybe I was wrong when I was avoiding putting one of these together. Because that laser sight might really make a difference. Let's go ahead and use this. Oh! No, that's fine, Tim. It's fine. Yep. You're not wasting chemical vials. Anytime I have a misclick, I immediately react with dread in Underrail. Because misclicks get you killed so often. Walk into your own traps by accident. You can walk into enemies, open a door by accident, search bodies. Speaking of which, let's click that button by accident. Okay, so we know now that we need this on. I'm pretty sure there's at least one more dog in the hallways somewhere here. And I think this is the last mine. Nope, there's one more mine, Tim. You need to worry about. I'm going to deploy our own mine here. I think this is a good spot for it. Enemies walk outside this door. We will hopefully walk on that. Another MK2 frag mine. Let's take that one. Then we'll set a new one down one spot. Okay, so we're going to place this one here. We'll throw some caltrops in front of this door. Help me deal with whatever decides to walk out of this. But we'll do that later. Okay. Oh my goodness! There was another mine. I didn't realize there was a third mine right here. Good God, I got lucky. Not walking into that right then and there. That would... I don't think that would have set off the other trap. Let's find out. It would not set the other trap, but it would have made so much noise. Everything would have come out here to investigate that. So I'm super glad we did not set that off. There's probably dogs on the other side of these boxes. We've only killed 2 dogs. I'm pretty sure there's 3 in the hallways out here somewhere. Okay. Let's get ready now to kill the mutants. So. Open you up. Do we deploy a mine here? Really tempting to put a mine trap there. Let me test this really quick. If I enter combat... Okay, I can get out of that room quick enough, I think. So let's go ahead and try this. Tim, you'll have to open that door. No, this is a mistake. Don't do that. Alright, do I want to use even more caltrops here? I don't think we need them. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, let's do the door trick. Now that we've opened the door, the dogs might decide to walk out here. The good news is the dogs might also see me and decide to investigate me. And decide to start combat with everyone in there as well, which is great because I want everyone knowing I'm here now. Maybe we should use caltrops here, Tim. Throw them. Oh, or not! Okay, so... Right. Pistols, firearm pistols ignore enemies' evasion. Acid pistols do not. I'm still going to fire the acid pistol, though. Nice! We entangled it. That is pretty much perfect. It's going to die on its turn. And it gives me gives me a chance to run, but it doesn't, because this dog will come out here and set off that mine. If I run over here, that dog's going to run out, hit that mine, and damage me with it. So I think I need to shoot this dog as well. Mental note, I was correct. There was, in fact, another dog around the corner there. We're making a lot of noise. Okay, this door is now opened, so other mutants are on the way. They're curious as to what on earth is going on. I need to move. I want to move up a little bit. Actually, that guy has a dagger. You can't move up any further than this. Oh yeah, that's something else about chemical pistols, everyone. They're close-range weapons. I didn't realize how close you actually need to be to have a decent chance to hit, but you got to be really close to an enemy. It's like a shotgun in that regard. Tim, everyone's hitting everything and killing you by hitting everything else that you don't want them to hit. Alright, the good news is that these guys are all dead, assuming you go where I want you to, Fragmine. You did not! You went somewhere else! Which doesn't surprise me. Dagger guy should set up the... Nope. Dagger guy did not set up the mine. Okay, the good news is that we managed to hide from the dogs and everyone else investigating what was happening from the other room. Didn't think he would use a spray. Forgot the guy was using a submachine gun. So he... Nice! He used that barrel to great effect. More people are coming to investigate. We'll ambush them from the corner. I see them taking bio damage, so they're walking, I think, up... Oh! They're walking up that way, Tim. So, yep, if you want to ambush them, you have to go over here. Okay. Acid entanglement. Perfect. So I think you're dead. Yep, you'll die in 2 rounds. I don't need to hit that other one. Let's move up this way. I'm sorry. I do need to hit that other one, but I don't have a good shot from where I'm standing, and he'll walk around to reach us. So let's move over here. Oh! Or he won't. That's fine. His friend dies. He did decide to start walking around to reach us. Let's move back. %56% chance to hit. It's not very good. 68. I'll take the shot. Missed. Alright. And I don't know if that was everyone. I don't think so. I think there's another dog and one more melee guy around here somewhere. Let's first start by searching all this stuff. So garbage, garbage. On the crossbow guy, you just have a dagger on you. This stuff is almost all going to be just trash. That's on the muties. But we still can break it down for bits, so we should take all of it. Oh, that was an electrical hammer. I'm glad that guy didn't reach me. Let's take a look and see what we picked up. So, first off, that can be scrapped. Oh, this assault rifle isn't terrible. Maybe hold on to that. Let's scrap the dagger. All the daggers are garbage. This is my old hammer. It's worth selling. I'll just break down the crossbow. It's decent, but I'd rather have the scrap. Now, what is this weapon? Level 6 shock steel sledgehammer. It's a decent weapon. Worth selling, and worth repairing as well, so we'll hold on to that. I think this is worth it too. If I try to repair this, how much are you worth? 2,900? Yeah, that was worth it. Probably not worth repairing again, though. Let's fix our acid blob pistol. Okay, nothing else has wandered around and bumped into me to start combat, so maybe that was the last of the enemies. Oh, oddities. We should go over the oddities really quick so you guys can see what I picked up. So far, playing the game. So, you might have noticed, but we were barely level 10 when I walked into here, and I'm playing classic mode. For random encounters, or random, is that right? I think that's right. For random encounters, I didn't have the water treatment plant. I instead had the group of, not bandits, but you can encounter a group of, oh hey, acid blob trap. You can encounter a group of there's a cave in the underpassages you can find that requires like a bot to explore them. You work with Harland and the guy who's watching out for the lurkers. And what that generally has less experience on classic mode than the water treatment plant does. There's far less enemies to kill in it. And so this meant less experience for me leveling up. But I like that area because I get it so infrequently. Most of the time I get the water treatment plant as the thing that I need to deal with. God, that made sense in my head. It didn't make sense to say it like that. Normally the game spawns the water treatment plant as one of the random dungeons for me to explore early on, and not the area that has the dimmed mine shrooms in it. But as such, I like getting the dim mine shroom one because it gives me a chance to see what different encounters you can have there. Speaking of different encounters, everyone, I've now had, I think, 6 total different water treatment plant encounters occur for me so far. The enemies I've had to fight were, for the most part, it's usually been the dogs that show up there with the pit bulls. But I've now had an enemy who's doing experiments who makes mutants, the lightning, electrified ground enemies. I've had a group of fire cultists in it. That was actually really tough. With all their immune to fire, Molotovs don't help you against them because they're immune to the fire damage there. They use all psychic powers, which makes them difficult because they're hitting you with pyrokinesis and pyrokinetic stream and what have you. It's really dangerous. I loved that, fighting them. And I recently had one where the water treatment plant was... Actually, it was with Geralt. The enemies therein were being mind-controlled by one psyker called Dom. It was actually rather interesting. You catch him as he has mentally dominated 2 girls and is having them make out right in front of him. And if you just kill him, all the other enemies in that area become friendly. Oh, well, not hostile, I suppose is a proper word to describe it. You can walk up, you can talk with them and everything. It was really cool. I liked getting that encounter. It was the first time I've ever seen that one. So I do very much like not only is the dungeon you get random, but the enemies you fight within it are also random. I've been curious to see if Stygian Software applies that logic to maybe these areas in the future. Like, if later on down the line, they decide, you know what? Instead of you fighting these mutants here, we'd mix up the... I don't know, the different, like... in this area, we fight 2 guys with daggers, 1 guy with a submachine gun, and there's 2 dogs. If instead it was kind of randomized, like you still fight mutants in here, maybe there's still 2 dogs, but instead you fight a guy with a sledgehammer or what have you in this room. I'd be curious to see, because it seems like they've been experimenting with this type of procedural generated content now for a while, and I like it. I think they've done a great job on it. Let's have some extra life. Alright, so we have now finished this area. Let's take the ladder, go back upstairs, search the rest of the area that had the mutated dogs in it. That was the sound of the gun turrets turning off. All the gun turrets everywhere have now been disabled. Yep, don't need to waste ammunition on them. We should... Actually, you know what? I'm going to try something really quick, everyone. I don't actually know. Do we still get experience points if we destroy an auto turret that has been disabled? We missed one of those shots. We do. We still get experience points for it. And we got 430. So I should destroy every single turret that we see. That's too much experience. On classic mode, that's way too much experience to leave that lying on the table. I'm sorry, gun turrets, but you're worth killing. That might give me my bandages. 21 coins today. What's on you? Another heart. Okay, so let's see. We'll avoid the MK2 mine that I know is right there. Yep. I suppose that's another thing Stygian Software might do someday. I mean, I don't work for Stygian Software. I'm not in contact with any developers at Stygian Software. I'm just a guy who really likes playing Underrail. So I have no insider knowledge. So everything here is just some thoughts I'm just having. That's it. Just random stream of consciousness type of stuff. So it also would be neat if like the mines were shuffled a little bit, so I would not remember where they're located. Now, to be quite honest, the amount of people that probably play through Underrail twice probably isn't that high in the grand scheme of things. The amount of people who played through it 3 times is probably even lesser, right? I've played through Underrail like 12 times. And it looks like I'll be playing through it at least another time with Decker. So, I know where everything is because I've played this game so much. Most people aren't going to memorize where the mines are located. They might remember on the second time through that there were mines in an area, but not the general, like, exact location. Okay, we've started this fight with everyone here. Let's run over to this side. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Alright, here they all come. Ooh, that's a good spot for him to be. Okay. So, let's move up a tad. And we'll acid blob trap. Acid shot. It's still so hard to hit them. That's a 63% chance to hit. That's not very good. We hit anyway. We criticaled him. He'll take extra damage. Is she in range? I think she's barely in range of the explosive barrel. I'm gonna move this way. And force this guy to walk up. He might trigger the mine. Now I think you have crippling strike. Let's see, oh, I can't make it into the house. Alright. Let's kneecap you. We missed. And I'm not going to kill the dog either. We're going to have to move in this direction instead. We're tackled, which is nice. Ooh, crossbow. Okay, just one hit. Kill the dog. Missed the 86% chance, very close range aim shot because it's Underrail. Why would I hit them? Why would I hit them? I don't know. Oh, we're overburdened. Oh, because we're now we're crippled. We need to use Adrenaline Rush. And I still don't have the action points to kill that person. And you might die walking on the acid, but probably not. Wow, they're all armed with electrical knives. I think we're dead. I've already used my hypos. Let's move away and throw a frag grenade. So I don't know what to do. I think we're dead. We have a bleeding effect on me? Yeah, we're still dead. It won't matter. I can't bandage that. Oh, we might barely survive. But that grenade's got to kill this guy. Did we survive? I have to wait till the health hypo's off a cooldown. Woo! Look at that, everyone. Look at that. Holy crap. There have been so many fights like that with Dr. Scarab. It's almost always caused by me failing to hit several high chances to hit the enemy in a row. Not on screen. I curse and swear at this game, and it's very fair, unforgiving random number generator when it comes to hitting enemies, which seems to be the exact opposite of what I have just said, because I seem to miss way too many 85 plus higher chances to hit an enemy in a row to make it a coincidence. Okay, well, let's begin taking apart all this stuff. We did survive, though. We did survive. I am shocked that we actually managed to survive that. Just barely. So victory's a victory. We will take it. But this doesn't bode so well for us in the upcoming mutant area. Alright, so we're gonna leave all this crap here that I don't need. I don't need the animal hearts. All this crap can stay here. Okay, let's see. You don't need a repair. You don't need a repair. We've got some... Oh, we have a ton of metal scraps. Let's go ahead and make some repair kits. I don't have any mechanics. We're just going to make normal repair kits then. And there's no way I need like 12 of these on me. And that's not helpful either. Okay. Let's quick save. That was almost a death. Would have been the first time I've died in one of these Depot A runs in a long time. I think Mauritius died here twice when I have been playing with him ages ago. And I think he was the last person to actually die through here. What are you? Oh, you're worth money. Hawker, level 3 laser sighted. We will hold on to you. Here. I don't need an MK1 grenade. We don't need MK2 either. I think we're pretty much done with MK2 grenades. Let's put this on. We don't need the caltrops where we're going. We're going to the bot area next, I think. I will hold on to all the ammo. We don't need those. Okay. Let's explore the rest of this area. I suppose we should disarm the mines, get some experience points. It's the thing about the hit chances of this game is it's not just me who recognizes it. Every, everyone complains about missing 81% chances to hit in a row. I'm sure it's just blind luck. I'm sure that is all it is. But it certainly doesn't seem to be the case when you miss 95% chances to hit in a row, which I've missed, I think, 5 in a row. So it's especially, I laugh whenever like someone who's playing a Psyker misses 2 of their 90% chances to hit with the pyrokinesis attack. I laugh at that. I laugh at their I can't believe I missed 90% chances to hit in a row. Mate, mate, you haven't lived until you played a non-psychic character in Underrail. Because then, your chances to hit just plummet. You know, I think people are still upset about the psychic changes. And by people, I mean, I think probably just a small handful of them by now. I very much like the psychic changes that happened back in August of last year. They were put into beta for a bit, we tested them, didn't really feel too much different from the base game. In case you guys don't remember, maybe you are watching this video and you haven't watched any of my previous ones and you only just picked up Underrail so you don't know what psychic powers used to be. There was no innervation slots in the game originally. So instead of... So you could use any psychic power that you had learned that you had learned in the game, whenever you wished. You could just pull it up and use it. Now you have to actually slot the spell first. It's much more similar now to like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition, where you must memorize the spell and then you can use it. I like this because it means that you have to prepare for the areas now in advance. One of the things I always thought about psychic powers is they were compared to other builds in the game. Psychic powers were extremely powerful compared to everything else, because you could take all the skills from all 4 skills. The skills all, they have the synergies with each other, so you get huge bonuses for it. The damage goes up. The odds of a debuff, like it affects enemies more often in case of temporal dilation, for example. It was so powerful. It was probably the strongest build taking psychics. Combine that with stealth and possibly grenades, and you have a character that nothing's going to even touch. It made hard mode like easy from my extremely brief time playing hard. So when the changes happened, I was very glad to see them. I felt a little less guilty playing hard mode when those changes had occurred. I want to ambush the bot here. There's a bot that patrols around here. I want to get it in the light while I am not. Not that that matters very much because I don't have any evasion, but it'll be helpful. Yeah, so I like that change. I liked the addition of the Psi reserves, so this way you have to recharge. Similarly, they made it similar to the vast majority of the other types of builds in the game. You have to manage ammunition, like you need to purchase more of it. Now Psi, you need to buy Psi Invigorators to replenish your Psi reserves, which are effectively your ammunition. You need to slot spells depending upon what you're fighting. So for example, I'm fighting bots, which is why I put the EMP grenades on my belt. I would take different weapons with me, make sure I'm carrying, like, if I was using energy weapons in this section now, I would want to make sure I bring batteries to help me deal with these and so on. I want to make sure that my pistols are using these rounds to help me fight bots and so on instead. And I feel like they did a great job doing the same thing now with psychic powers. On that same note, they made it so that you now have to think a little more carefully about what feats you're taking with psychic powers. It's no longer just take the best feats. Although you still will always grab Premeditation and Locus of Control. You're going to take those. Those are amazing feats, and I don't see why you would not want them. But the other feats, it's no longer as easy to pick the best ones, because maybe you are now focused instead on using fire spells instead of cryo spells for your build, because those are the ones you want in your brain slots. And so, thus, it requires a little more thought. And I like that. Oh, nice! Have we destroyed you, Bond? I think you're doomed. You are doomed. You are doomed. Hey! Second registration plate. I am very surprised. I haven't talked about the psychic powers very much. I didn't talk about them at all with Decker. I tend not to talk about... how to describe it. When it comes to... It's not a controversy. There was a large amount of... what's the word? I guess negativity? I don't like using that. It makes it... There was a significant... Oh, no, there wasn't an amount of significant. And I don't think even a large amount is the proper thing way to phrase it. I want to be fair to the people who criticized it, though. Some people were very loud and very... What's the word? Rude? In their criticism of the new psi mechanics. Very much so. Extremely so. Stygian Software got, like, death threats. People left negative reviews about the change even before it had been finished. It didn't even come out of beta. But because Stygian Software wanted to make these changes, people who really, really hated these changes were very, very mean about it. And I don't know, I saw from like a mile away, based on what was being changed, how it was being changed, that Stygian Software was going to do these changes. I thought it would be a better use of time for the people who didn't like these changes to help give not advice, but to instead critique the changes and try to give feedback rather than just insult Stygian Software for attempting to balance their game. It's Stygian Software's game. I had a similar reaction myself. Like, I really hated the change. Well, it wasn't anywhere near as mean. But there was a game that I had watched a YouTuber called Kokoskia play, called The Guild of Dungeoneering. And in his playthrough of it, the game did not have this thing called battle scars in it. And when I had picked up the game some months after having watched him, this was something new that the developers of that game were trying to add into it. And I hated the idea of battle scars. I didn't want it in my game. But that said, I remember telling the devs, like, this is your game. You design it the way that you feel it should be designed. Because you might be correct and I might be totally wrong. I don't like this change. I don't want this change. I wish I could disable this change, but I can't. But I support your desire for it. Like, here's my thoughts on it. I don't like it for these reasons. I'd like to see it go, but if you're going to keep it, okay, like, so be it. I might not play the game again, but I'm not going to leave a negative review about the change. It's no longer my cup of tea. I didn't want that change in there. But I supported the devs and their desire to make that alteration to their game. And it was the same thing with Darkest Dungeon. Maybe none of you remember, but my channel used to be pretty much Darkest Dungeon for a while. I was a backer of Darkest Dungeon, the Kickstarter, and I was one of the few people who was modding the game during beta. During the beta, the Darkest Dungeon developers had added corpses at a certain point in the game. They felt the game was too easy, and they were correct. Without corpses, it was very easy for you to chew through the enemy's formation quickly by focusing on the enemy in the front and just pulling the enemies in the back to the front because of that very quickly. And generally the enemies in the back line don't do as much in the front line, like Arbalists, right? Skeletal Arbalists and what have you. But I'm going on a tangent at the moment. I'm talking about why I started modding, not the balance issues. So let me try to get my brain back on track. So they had been adding a bunch of different settings. Nope, this is describing it wrong. They had been tweaking the difficulty of the game by adding a huge amount of protection to the enemies that you fought. It is my belief in Darkest Dungeon that the heroes win through burst damage and DPS, killing enemies as quickly as possible, and the monsters win by attrition, by slowly whittling the heroes down, if they can. And they added like 60 prot to like the swine tars, so you'd be stuck in a battle versus a swine tar for like 3 or 4 turns. They added 80 prot to maggots. You could kill a maggot a turn. That's how bad it was. Even with dot effects, it took you, for like bleeds, it still took an entire turn to kill a single maggot. And they stunned you. And they put stress on you. And they crit pretty often. It was bad. It was really bad. And so I've discovered how to mod the game, because back to corpses, when you killed an enemy, will this thing die from the acid damage? I think it will. No! If I move, we take damage from the acid. No! Okay, I guess you don't take acid damage when you move then. Just shoot you to death. Oh, you should use these instead. Anyway, so I hated the change, and I left like, oh my goodness. Oh right, hold on, before I talk about modding, some other changes. So, come on, see me, camera, see me. I'm here. Thank you. I think there's at least, yep, one more. Alright, let's throw our final flare forward. Can move up a little bit, and then... Sure. You know what just occurred to me? Ambush might work really well with this build. I mean, I gotta be really close to the enemy. It's gonna be hard for me to remain in the darkness to shoot out of it at the light, but being able to ignore 20% of the enemy's evasion with my acid pistol would be really handy. Something else that the developers had done with Darkest Dungeon during the beta was they were having a hard time balancing the heirloom items that you needed, and the sheer number of them that they required was unbelievable. Something like 800 deeds to level up the blacksmith fully. You'd be forced to do the wield over and over and over again. And I didn't understand why they wanted you to... It became a very grindy game. And so all these changes, I mean... But during the entire process, I would still... I told Red Hook, like, hey, you know, do what you want. It's your game. Balance it the way that you wish. I disagree with these changes because of these reasons. And when I spent like a year modding the game before it had even come out, and I found a happy medium. Playing through the game, I was able to figure out, like, just about what the heirloom items levels should be, how fast heroes should level. I changed the amount of protection and hit points, crit rate, and what have you on the monsters and so on. And I was fairly happy with the version of the game that I had produced. And I remember leaving a few comments on Reddit, I think, and maybe on Steam, about the numbers I had chosen. And many of the other players really liked these changes, and they would talk about these changes, ask, hey, is your mod available, and what have you. And I was like, unfortunately not, because I was still ironing out the levels. And I made sure to play my version of Darkest Dungeon over and over and over again to make absolutely sure that I had the numbers correct. And then, I think 2 or 3 days before the game was officially released, Red Hook rebalanced a good amount of their game. And it so happens, and I don't think for 1 second Red Hook ever watched any of my videos, but it so happened that their numbers were extremely close to mine. Very close to mine. And some of the things I had done during my modding of the game, like adding debuffs to the marked target abilities, this way they were worth using, or encouraged you to use them even on targets that, even if you didn't bring someone who could really benefit from marked target. Red Hook did the same thing. And I was impressed with that Red Hook went ahead and made so many of these changes. It really improved the game at the time. And I like to think, though I don't think it is the case, but I like to think that Red Hook actually maybe watched some of my earlier videos and saw my changes and liked them, disagreed with the numbers, but liked the ideas that I had, and maybe decided that, you know what, you're based on your input, Tim, because I tried to be very polite with my disagreement about the changes Red Hook had done. And I stressed as well that, you know, I've got my version of the game. Like, I modded my game pretty heavily. I'm going to play my version of the game. Red Hook, I support their decision to do what they wish. This is how I think they're negatively affecting their game, but it's their game, and it's still a good game, even if I disagree with the way that it's been balanced. And I think that by being polite and by understanding the desires of Red Hook, who were like, our game's too easy. We need to make some ways to alter it. We must find some ways to improve this. And understand why they're making the changes they are. Like, enemies are dying too quickly. We need to add prot to them. Well, you're adding way too much prot. It's way too grindy. Maybe not do that for these creatures, or some creatures are tougher than others. Maybe give them more hit points, increase their dodge or something of the sort. Like, trying to help Red Hook's desire to make these changes is a better use of time than me just leaving a negative review saying this game sucks. I'm not gonna buy this game. The developer, I don't know why he's making these changes. It's a single player game. Who cares about what the balance is? Like, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. It is in my opinion a ridiculous argument to make in that regard. Come on. It's their game. Having a balanced game is something that you want to do as a game developer. If one thing is obviously more powerful than all the other builds, I mean, I guess in the end, it's up to the person to play that or not. But you still kind of want a balanced game. It's like the trouble of the, what is he called? The leper from Darkest Dungeon, right? No one likes the leper. Leper is one of the weakest characters in the base game. I don't know, but you would like him to be as strong as all the others. This way you can have an excuse to have even more diversity in the groups, the parties you send into the dungeon. Shut up, camera. No one likes you. Alright, sorry, that was quite a recording, right? Yes, I am. That was quite a deviation from the standard Underrail stuff. What am I doing about these turrets? We are killing them. They're worth too much experience points. And then we're killing you once my aim shot's back. Guess we should probably repair this. This is the last area I'm going to be using my acidic pistol in anyway, so we might as well get some good use out of it. Oh, I forgot. all the turrets can't be crit. They're immune to crits. Because I just used an aim shot and it did not crit when I hit this turret. I forgot that was the case. Some enemies in this game are immune to critical hits. I always forget which ones those are, though. Back to Darkest Dungeon. I had actually been dusting off my mod. I haven't played Darkest Dungeon in years now. 3 years, I think, since I last played through Darkest Dungeon. My channel used to be all about Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon was one of the few games that was popular that I actually played at the time it was popular for. And in particular, I wanted to show off my mod called LUM. Lotaeri's Uncleverly Named Mod is what it was called. These days, however, LUM is not played by anybody. At least I would imagine that. It wasn't very popular either, even when it was released. So, let's talk about this as quickly as I can. Something you might have noticed on my channel is that I don't ask for likes or subscriptions. I don't say, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. I'm told when I upload new videos. It's my belief that you guys know all this already. You don't need me telling you to do it. And I'm not going to beg for those things. That's ridiculous. It's silly, if I'm being quite honest. And you guys are smarter than that. You don't need me asking you to do this. You can do it if you like. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching what you watched. I hate doing that sort of thing. I've hated that thing since I was in college. I was going for an architectural degree. I ended up not doing it. But a big part about architecture is that in addition to having great ideas, you need to know about how to construct the buildings correctly, or bring it to an engineer so he can tell you you're dumb. You can't span that width with the pillar you've got there. But you also have to beat your own drum and talk about how great you are. And I've hated that. My upbringing is such that I try to be as modest and humble as possible. And so I really do not like shilling. And when it comes to my mod for Darkest Dungeon, I applied that same thing to it as well. I made one post on Steam and on Reddit about my mod, and that was it. Never made another post. I think I might have bumped it once, and that would have been like a year or two afterwards, once the Crimson Court had come out, and maybe one more time when Color and Magic had come out, since I had worked the game with those to make it work with those as well. Of course the aim shot misses. Of course it does. Why would it hit? You know, I only put points in the aim shot, and I'm only using my stick pistol with an 82% chance to hit the enemy. Why would it hit? Okay. I wish there was an option. Maybe it's on like an hour cooldown or something. But it makes it so that when you use it, the next attack you make has a 100% chance to hit. Everyone would take that feat. Everyone would take that feat. All right, let's destroy these turrets as well. Yeah, so I didn't shill my mod in any way. I didn't make any other posts about it, and as such, it doesn't become popular, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. Maybe if I did do that a little more often, more people would have tried it out and seen the changes that I have done and liked them. But on that same note, there's nothing wrong with Darkest Dungeon any longer. Not that there was anything wrong with it to begin with, but well, at least since it was released. I am glad that I spent the time working on Darkest Dungeon, though, and my mod for it. But on that same note, there's nothing wrong with Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon now is very similar to my mod in balancing. I think well, yeah, you can say it. It's not bad what you're saying. I like my mod better than the normal Darkest Dungeon. I like how I balance the things better than how Red Hook did. I do. There you go. I like it. I spent hundreds of hours in my mod working on it, and I've played through my mod 4 times from my estates from level 1 to max level to make sure that I liked all my changes and that the game was beatable with my changes. I think that's really super important to do as well. You really want to, as someone who's worked on various games, made mods for all sorts of games, and I've been working on a board game, it's very important that you like your changes and that you play your game with your changes as well. It's also another reason why my Darkest Dungeon mod hasn't really seen too many updates recently. Because I know if I want to make more changes, I'm going to want to play through the game again. And where's my character build? Let's see, let's delete that. It's a different character. Import Dr. Scarab. Load level 12. Okay. So both of those get leveled. My hacking gets leveled. Traps gets leveled. Oh, that's awkward. My electronics was supposed to be only 50, not 60. Okay, and my intimidate? Alright, 20 points left. What are we upping? Up hacking. I don't really need mechanics. I probably should revisit his build now. Let's take that. I think you definitely up chemistry. Yeah, do this for the moment. And that's it. Okay. Sorry, leveled to level 11. Might as well put the points into things now. Alright, so where are we going? We can't... Oh, we can get into these rooms. We have hacking. I don't think there really is anything worthwhile in these rooms to... Well, then again, Tim, small energy cells are so cheap in the grand scheme of things. Alright, everyone, so we've cleared out over half of Depot A. The only 2 spots left for us to explore are now the areas filled with mutants and mutated dogs. So, this means new outfits for these areas. New outfits, that means putting on our Time to Fight the Mutants outfit. So, we put on a mutated dog leather. This is so dangerous. I think we want it. I really do think we do. We put on our Trapper's Belt. We move to flashbangs. I don't need EMP grenades any longer. We put this up here. Okay. Now, I have not used our plasma pistol very much. I made it just before I decided to walk into Depot A. So this will be a very interesting attempt at clearing it. And I'm going to do this a bit weirdly. We're going to actually attempt to leap away from a different direction. For no other reason than I haven't done it from this direction before. I don't know if this is going to work out so well. But I'm going to make the attempt. We're going in from this direction. Now, I have not zoned with Dr. Scarab in any of the battles I have done. I was able to do the lunatic fights without needing to zone. I did die to one of the lunatic fights twice, but I didn't have to zone to do them. We might have to zone for this. This is so tricky. Okay. Before we venture out there, let's search the shelves. So I need to place these like around corners. I think if I step up, I think we activate everything in Depot A. Not everything, sorry. All the other creatures in this area. Oh, okay, we might be safe here. I saw it. Yep, so did you guys. Let's place another trap here. Didn't see me place that. Let's place another trap here. Leave this open, because I have to run into that. Let's place another trap here, in case I do have to stand in there and do the fighting. Oh, okay, this is it! Something saw me. What was it? A mutated dog. Alright, so the fighting is about to start. I'm pretty sure this dog is going to bark and get everything to investigate, so we might as well start shooting. That was not a lot of damage. Oh god! Holy crap! And we're entangled. So that's super bad. Let's throw some caltrops to help slow them down. We could throw a grenade, but I'm gonna wait a little bit to do that. I think they'll walk around. They'll get trapped in this area. One of them will walk onto that mine, or at least they'll be all up in this cluster, and then we'll throw the grenade. Do I use my... We don't use the plasma rifle yet. We only have a 60% chance to hit with it. Let's... Good thing we fired a normal shot. We missed, and that's the only shot we get. Okay, that pretty much went exactly as I had hoped. Let's see if I can hit this 70% aim shot. That was amazing. Let's recharge. Darn it, dog! No! No! We got more dogs on the way. That must mean we have more mutants on the way, too. We'll probably be entangled again. I don't... that's not a good chance to hit that dog. We'll shoot this one instead. Actually, let's make the kneecap shot on this one. We missed. We're entangled again. Yeah, we'll be spending, I think, the entire battle entangled. Which is bad when we have two giant mutants here. Okay, let's throw a MK3. Flashbang. And then shoot this dog in the face. Activate our shield to help absorb some of this damage. That's the only shot we get against a mutated dog. We're entangled again. Let's throw another grenade. Okay. That went well. Thank goodness I brought what I brought with me to this fight. All those mines and traps, every one of them was used during that encounter. And I think that's everything in Depot A. Sorry, everything in this area of Depot A. Let's think here. So let's heal. You want all of your delicious acid glands? Your deaths will fuel our anger. Something. Darn it! That was supposed to be so cool, and they messed it up. We will put your corpses to good use, similar to like how a necromancer uses them. Hello. What we got here? Metal armor blueprint. Hey, that's worth 4,000 credits. Probably we'll never make metal armor, but we'll take it anyway. I do think that was everything in Depot A, right? We killed like 6 dogs and 3 giant mutants. I always think there's like 5 giant mutants in this area, but there is, I think, only 3. I cannot but note that I've missed both of the kneecap shots I have taken so far in this game. We'll have to kind of get lucky. My accuracy is not very high. I suppose that's something I didn't realize, that if I could leave some criticism of the chemical pistols. There's no... Oh my god. 10% crit on ranged weapons with that pair of goggles. We want that. Repair you. Actually, it should be... I don't have an advanced repair kit. No advanced repair kit. Let's just fix you with these. Plus 3% more range with that. Oh, sorry, crit chance. I had thought there might be some way to upgrade the chemical pistols with extra attachments, like a chance to hit or something, but there isn't. When you make a chemical pistol, it's the chemical pistol. That's it. There's, like, when I make an energy pistol, there's optional weapon enhancements, but nothing for chem pistols. I really think this could benefit from, like, a laser sight. Or I said magazine. Like, it really could. I kind of wish that was an option for them, given the chance to hit is not as good as the other weapons. Other pistols. Especially now that firearm pistols help lower the enemy's evasion when you fire at them. Okay, so I'm walking over here really quickly just to hit the barrel, leave a bunch of scrap in it. And we're almost done with Depot A, everyone. Just as before, I'm not imagining there being anything over here that stops me from completing this area. We've beaten the hardest area, the one we just completed. So I don't think we'll have any trouble here. Let's see, let's leave all this behind. Oh, we earned the machete plan blueprint from something. And the good news is we did it. We were able to get through Depot A. That's pretty amazing. Traps, though. Right? Realistically, the reason why we survived that other room was the incredibly, incredibly well-placed traps, of course, that I had set down. And I think it was, actually, if I'm being quite honest. I think that's what let us win that fight right then, really easily. And today, we have a high-level but low-durability Hurricane crossbow. So that is garbage. Worth repairing and selling, but that's a shame. It's harder to sell crossbows. Oh, we don't have the keycard for this yet. Really? Did I not search everything down below? I guess I didn't. Alright, hold on. I missed an item. Let's head back down to where the robots are. Where the robots were. I think we can get down there with the ladder we'll find in this area. Yep, that's unlocked. What did I not search? The footlocker. Was that locked? That has... I think that has the key in it. I guess I just skipped it. Since I like coming back to Depot A on occasion to farm them from... Or my plan is to farm these creatures for their acid glands. I'm going to want to make sure all the doors are unlocked so I can navigate around it very efficiently. I don't want to have to walk back down through these lower sections when I can just walk through open gates to reach these different sections of Depot A. Now, a heads up as well, everyone, that there... Oh, I'm making this sound like some sort of special announcement. It's not. So, in the next area we're about to go in, there's like this highlighted rubble that you can see when you hold down tab. Do I want to go in this way? Do I have any more normal mines? I have one. Sure, we'll go in this way. Dynamiting them does nothing. I did come back here with one of my other characters when I saw that there was an area that looked like it might lead to a secret, but it does not do so. I thought there might be an early way for you to reach the waterway jet ski special dungeon, but that is not the case, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Okay, so another flashbang. That will go to good use. We actually have hacking to get through this today. I forget what's another... I think there's a mine right on the other side of this door. Aha! I was correct. Again, I've played the game for something like 1,300 hours. What's in here? Low-level leather armor. And more scrapture. The last scrapture that we needed. Let's leave that open, actually, Tim. So, alright, let's begin setting up for the final fight. We will go and do this from this direction. Okay, so I need, I think, you here. This is like my, I think, third time trying to properly trap this area. A frag mine here. Caltrop this area. Then we put another trap here. Let's think. If I put a trap, that'll be fine. As long as I can get around to this area. Actually, hold on a second. Can I walk here? Okay, so that means... Where are you, mine? You are there. So I can put this HE mine here. Okay, I think this will do it for us, everyone. All of my burrow traps are being used. We'll even use another caltrop. This does feel a little cheesy whenever I use so many mines and caltrops. But we can't use my chem pistol here. Or we can, but I don't think we'll do any real damage to the enemy. So we're going to set up this maze of dangerous stuff all over the floor here to help us out. We'll take our nets. And I think we're good to go. Let's open that door and kill the remaining enemies in Depot A. Now we just have to get their attention. Just need to be seen by something, or we need to throw a grenade down there. Oh, yes you can, Tim. You can move up a little bit more. Nope, there's a bear trap right in front of you. Okay, so we can't do that. We could throw an do I have an MK2 grenade left? Oh! Holy crap, that would have been a giant mistake. We want our normal pistol in our hand. I don't want to have to move up to fire. I really do not want to move up the fire, because I need the movement points to get away from everything I've just set up over here. My plan is to have all the traps do the killing for me. Can I shoot him? I can. Alright, here we go. Time to start this. So that missed, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I expected it to miss because it's under rail. You miss all your attacks. Let's run up here. Hopefully we don't get entangled, but that totally happened. So we're in danger because we're near one of my mines. We have to wait 2 turns to get out of this. We could throw a flashbang to give me the time I need, but I'll wait a little bit. We'll let them all get a little closer to me. We could throw a grenade from here. Let's think here. I'm out of flares? We have 1 flare left. We'll light up their life a little bit, and then we'll light up their lives a different way. We'll throw that grenade. And is that it? I think that's it. So I set all these traps and only needed 1 single MK2 mine and an MK3 grenade to win. Really? Well, that's it. Holy crap. That actually makes Depot... Well, I guess the combination is really strong. It's a ton of damage that they immediately take. So, you might have noticed that most of my characters who take throwing don't take Grenadier. It wouldn't really have mattered here, I suppose, because I just threw 1 grenade. Where is that bear trap? But grenades are incredibly strong, especially if you can cleverly use them to also detonate other mines to do significant damage to any poor sap who's close by to the explosion. Even against single targets, MK3 grenades and higher, they do so much damage. They are wonderful. I'd probably argue that they are very strong and maybe should be weakened a bit. Every build can benefit from grenades. But that's up to Decision Software. What? Let's hack these. Alright, and I think everyone, that basically does it. Let's see what's in these boxes really quick together. But then... I don't think there's any more enemies left standing. Nope, that's it. Alright, everyone. So that effectively is Depot A. The only thing I've left to do is walk down here and get the drill rotator circuit board. Armadillo class. So that's only gonna take me a few seconds, so we'll stop here. So thank you guys for watching. I did a lot of babbling this time around. We didn't even use our plasma pistol very much. We just had to throw some MK3 grenades to win. Whatever, it's not that bad. I can sell this anyway. So yeah, that went really well. All things considered. I think we did really well with our character. We got to see the chemical pistols being used a little bit, but we didn't get to see it too much here, unfortunately. It is a fun weapon to use. I would definitely recommend you build your character a little differently than how I built mine. Put more points in deck so you can get more shots off with it. Would be my advice. Yeah, I would definitely advise that. You want probably at least 3 shots. And I don't know what you can do to get the accuracy up with the chem pistol, because an 82% chance to hit, that's, in the grand scheme of things, that might as well be like 40%, given the amount of times you'll swear you miss shooting that weapon. So it's going to be really tough. What else can I recommend? Money. You will want money. You might need the cheat engine to get money quickly. Waiting for the merchants to recycle the inventory can take quite a bit of time. And I'm so glad I did use it because I really needed more money selling all the crap I was picking up to them. So, yeah, that's there's that as well. But I like the build. I think it works rather well. I've enjoyed playing it up to this point. There have been several close calls, as you saw when we almost died with 5 hit points left. I think that's how much we had left. Fighting that group of muties off in the first area of the game, too. Holy crap. Both of those mutants having the electrical daggers and using crippling strike. That is, that was really close. I thought for sure we were going to die more often than that. But thankfully, we did it. And I'm babbling a lot. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one of these, whenever it is I get around to doing them. Take care, everyone, and thanks again for watching.